welcome back to another card reveal. We've got a bunch of DoomZs, some power patrons, and a couple of random things here and there. We're going to go through some Farfa community member replays and displays of these new cards. If those of you who do get combos and stuff for new cards, please feel free to submit them to my Discord, and we'll showcase them on stream and then compile them to a nice, comfy, cozy video like this. So let's begin. I did make a short about this one, and it is a brand new hand trap. I didn't actually put this into a full video, but I guess we can go over it really quick. You guys probably know what this is by now. But if you haven't heard of this for whatever reason, this is from Blazing Dominion, the national set for TCG, which is looking pretty cool. Jack Atlas, the Master of Faster, the Ass Blaster, might be a tier 1 deck. I'm genuinely looking forward to that. So this is a Dark Dragon Tuner level 7. Shoutouts to Destrudo. He walked so Fidraulis Harmonia could run. You can only use this effect once per turn. So when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field... Okay, so, let's analyze cards. Whenever we look at new cards, we always have to consider the activation requirements, the versatility, and how applicable they are in general situations. Opponent activating a monster effect on the field? Seems pretty likely. Quick effect. Reveal this in your hand, and up to 5 synchros in the extra, and apply these in sequence based on the number revealed. 2, 4, and 6. So, some people were a little bit confused. How do you get the 6th effect if you only reveal 5? It counts itself. So, 5 plus 1. So, what does it do? So, you reveal this card in your hand, and the 5 synchros in your extra deck. You special summon this 25-20 beater. You send a revealed synchro, and then you pop a card on the field. Pop a monster, specifically, that your opponent controls. Non-targeting, pop if your opponent activates a card, monster effect on the field. Sending a synchro in the process. So... this is a hand trap that is a Trident that mills from your extra deck. So you can send, of course, Malone, which is really good disruption. You can Book of Moon another card and pop something in the process. You can even advance your gameplay by sending Herald of the Arclight and searching Meme of the Year, Habibi Kiri. Yep. So the downside of this, quote-unquote, is that you're locked out of activating effects special from the extra deck until the end of your next turn, except synchros. So it's very specifically for synchro decks. It's good in non-synchro decks, like Labyrinth. You could play it in Stun. You could play it in non-extra deck requiring cards, decks and archetypes. So it's generic in that way. It's a super insane card. It's really fucking good. It is very, very good. This is an incredible card. Next up, we've got nothing. We've seen most of these here already. Where are we at on this one? Is this a generic? I have not seen this, but I think it was revealed today. This is Subspace Battle. Shoutouts to Gigabyte, and is that the Marmiting Captain or something? We got some lore cards here, some old school things. Unexpected DI, I think Mr. Zeef would be proud of this. Freed the Brave or something. So this is a normal spell card. I haven't read this before. You can only activate one card with this name per turn. Apply this effect 3 times. Each player reveals a monster in their deck, except a monster with question mark attack. Add the monster with a higher attack to the hand of the player that chose it, and destroy the monster with lower attack. And if you do, inflict 500 to the player that chose it. If they have the same attack, shuffle them. Each player cannot activate the effects of monster with the same name as the monster they chose for the rest of this turn. Cannot activate the effects of monster with the same name as that monster they chose for the rest of this turn. Interesting. Okay. Huh. So basically, you can reveal 3 monsters, and the guy who picks the biggest dude wins. But they can't use the effect. So you want to ideally search big monsters whose effects you don't need. Destroy a monster with a grave effect? Well, no, you can't use the effect, right? Each player cannot activate the effects of monsters with the same name as the monster they chose for the rest of this turn. So Kaiju's, removal like that. You can search pen scales. You can search cards that you can use on the following turn on your opponent's turn, like Nibiru. It's kind of neat, but I don't think it's very good. I'm going to be honest with you. Pendulum scales actually seem kind of cool. But the problem is you kind of need like a pen skill with like big attack. Right? So that your opponent is going to try and pick the biggest monster in their deck, which could be like a Habakiri, like a Murakumo, and then you lose, and then you're just discarding a Pendulum. I think this is kind of funny, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be that great. A Phimina or a Zuna for next turn? I don't know. I feel like you'd rather just play your deck and then search those in the process of using your engine, surely? Surely there aren't any new pen scales with big attack? Oh, true. Yeah, no, we will be getting into that. All right, this is kind of funny, but I don't see this, like, being playable, honestly. I just don't think it does enough to warrant not being, you know, engine or defensive card. Now, this is an interesting card. This is a continuous trap card. Who loves continuous trap cards? Continuous trap cards are the best thing that people love in the shuffler game, because, you know, you can side into them, the shufflers, yeah? So what is this? It's a continuous trap card where each time a monster is normal or special, you can place a summon counter on this, max 4. If this 4th summon count is placed, remove all summon counts from this card, and if you do, send all monsters of the field to the grave. So, if your opponent summons a bunch of guys, you can remove all the counters and send them to the grave. Now, in an ideal world, you want to set this after post-siding in a deck that doesn't play a lot of field presence in the first place. And then your opponent summons 4 times, then you remove all the counters, and then you nuke their board. You nuke the whole board. So you could set this in, like, you know, going first in, like, Labyrinth, Trap Tricks, something like that, maybe. Now, the problem I'm seeing with this is that it's mandatory. So you can't, like, let it get to the 4th summon counter and then nuke it whenever you want. I think that would actually make it kind of good. The problem is that your opponent kind of just knows when it's going to happen. It's like a torrential that you can see and know when it's going to, you know, activate. So I just don't think it does enough compared to a lot of bullshit you can just side going first. Like, you need to ask yourself, what continuous trap card are you siding going first in something like Labyrinth that would be worth playing ahead of this? And there's like 10 other cards that are just kind of better than this, right? So after the if the 4th summon is placed, remove all from this, and if you do, send all monsters. So you have to use it on the 4th summon. You can't control it. I think this would be good if you could control it. So it's on 4 counters, then you can just sit there and wait. When you think it's getting to a point where it's usable, you're like, okay, cool, nuke. But yeah, it can trigger multiple times. Right, and what are you saying? Like, play 2 of these? That's not good. No. So yeah, I think this card kind of sucks. I mean, really just ask yourself, what does this give you that's better than Torrential? Twice per turn? Oh, right, I see, right, it doesn't send itself. Right, okay. Remove all summon counters, and then if they summon 4 more... Okay, alright, wait, no, hold on, that's actually a good point. So you can reach 4 summons, nuke the board. They summon 4 more times, nuke the board again. You know what? Scrap everything I just said. That doesn't seem terrible. Every 4 summons, you Nibiru them? Not awful. If you have 2, you can stagger it every 2 summons. Okay, well, relying on this being drawn twice is not really that good. But I don't think it's, like, that bad. It's actually, you know what? I don't hate it. I could see this being played. I don't know if it's insane, but I could see this being played. Okay, anyway, let's not spend too much time on this. We got some new Hecahands. We've got Hecahands Makibel and Dandalos and Beitel Hecahands. What language do these Hecahands derive from? Because there's a lot of Arabic. This just means House of the Hecahands. But I don't know what these words are. Mekbel. Mekbel? Dandalos? Spanish? Polish? Just a mix of stuff, I suppose. Alright, let's see what we've got here. We've got a level 6 light illusion effect monster. So this dude over here. Pretty banging artwork. 1850, 1850. Go to the first and third effect once per turn. Reveal this and fusion a Hecahand fusion from your extra using monsters from your hand or field, including this. This battle is neither destroyed. Illusion effect. If an illusion fusion is sent to grave while this is in your grave, add this to your hand. Illusion fusion is sent to the grave. So you can fuse with this and then recur it to the hand once you send off the fusion. That's good recycling. This card is named after Mankeb Jauza, another name for Betelgeuse. Shoulder of Orion plus El, God. Mankeb Jauza, Betelgeuse. Okay. Dandalos over here is a level 7 Dark Illusion Fusion. This is the guy you make. 29, 30, 2 Hecahands. You can use the first effect once per turn. Target a monster you put control, take control of it. Your Hecahands fusions and your monsters owned by your opponent can attack directly. Oh, yeah, that's really funny. The whole gimmick of Hecahands is you steal their guys, so you take them, and then you can attack directly with them, which is an underrated ability in Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes, you know, if you've ever dealt with, like, some sort of, like, annoying floodgate monster or something, or some sort of towers that's unavoidable to, like, deal with, punching for game directly is one of the best things that Memento could do, as an example. It's just having exactly 8k. Okay, so it's pretty decent. Continuous trap, you go to the first effect once per turn. I don't know if they needed more traps, honestly. The other two were amazing. I don't know how you're going to top that. Tribute a Hecahands monster or a monster owned by your opponent. Take control one monster your opponent controls. I mean, that's still very good. Once per turn during your end phase, send a card you control to the grave. So it's mandatory to get rid of a card you control. You could get rid of one of your opponent's cards. You could send itself if you're done with using it. Do the Hecahand spell trap searcher, do they set any trap Hecahands, or does it have to be a normal trap? If this is searchable, this is probably decent. Any trap? Okay, that's pretty good. All right. I've seen some Hecahands gameplay, and I'll be honest, these cards are all pretty decent. I think the biggest issue with Hecahands is they don't really have ways to play on your opponent's turn. Like an in-engine, I know it's crazy to complain about not having a Femina. But they don't have like a lot of like defensive usage. Like you kind of have to like get going, then it's kind of good. Once you start the engine of the deck and you start, you know, progressively taking your opponent's cards and setting and resolving your effects to get your traps and stuff, then it's actually kind of decent. But I'm not seeing like a ton of extension, ton of ways to like play through stuff. I think this is like the best card here probably, is this guy just lets you fuse. Which is kind of good. So that's like not too bad. But it sort of just feels like this deck is kind of mid. And it's sort of designed to be a mid deck, which, you know, with the advent of Genesis format might actually just be the direction that they want some archetypes to be in. Like, this is a good deck that isn't top tier. Just a strong rogue deck. Okay, so this is where things get a little bit wacky. We got some duels for you to showcase all of these cards. DoomZ 8 over Grafarlio. They have a new Xyz, 3 level 5s, or you can rank it up using a DoomZ Xyz you control and transfer the materials. You can do this first time once per turn. You can detach a material and add the DoomZ spell trap, then destroy a card. Wow, that's incredibly good. Not quick effect, I suppose, but, you know, can't have a non-targeting destruction effect on a boss monster be that crazy. And if it's destroyed by card effect special non-Xyz DoomZ from deck or grave. I guess you can pop itself if you really want to. And that'll trigger the, you know, add a spell trap, pop itself. This is destroyed. Then you add a guy, like, I guess maybe that's some sort of a combo. Pop the baby, but for DoomZ. New equip spell, Adrastea. You can do the second and third effect once per turn. The first time the equip monster will be destroyed by battle, each turn it is not destroyed. During your main, you can destroy the equip monster, and if you do special on other DoomZ from hand, grave, or banishment in defense. If this is in your grave, target a face-up monster you control, you equip this to it, then take damage equal to its level rank. Okay, target a face-up monster you control, equip this card to it, then take damage equal to its level or rank. Okay. This card doesn't seem that, like, what is the point of this card? It's just protection, just some... I don't know. This first one's really good, though. This one's really good. Okay, I guess we'll take a look at some replays, then. We have a Farfa in the hand here. Oh, actually, no, hold on. We need to read the new cards first before we check out this one. Pause. We got some Power Patron replays. Okay, let's read these first. There's a lot here, Jesus. Videlium, the Power Patron of Chaos Extermination. It's a level 12 Dark Fairy Pendulum. 5,000 attack. So, you know that spell card we read at the start of the stream? I guess you can search these with that if you really want to. So Power Patron is part of this whole Medius Core lore and stuff, right? But this is essentially just a whole ass new deck. So it's a Pend 11. You can use the effects once per turn. Activate one of its effects. Destroy this and special Power Patron from hand to grave. Destroy this. This turn Power Patrons you control whose original level is 12 will gain 5,000. Wait, what? The fuck? Alright, big chungus. The monster effect is can be normal or summon or set and must be special from your face-up extra or grave by returning a Fusion Synchro and Xyz from your face-up field under grave to the extra. This might be really easy to summon, depending on these new cards. This might be really easy to summon. If this is added to your extra deck face-up, you can add a Power Patron card. If this is special, banish all cards from the graveyards face down, and it's unaffected by non-Power Patron monsters. Do you know what the annoying thing about these like pseudo tower effects? Okay, I mean it's two ways, right? This is annoying because it's a tower effect. But even if they are going to, you know, go with the whole towers effect, why is it unaffected by only its not itself? So basically, the mirror match, it doesn't have any protection, which is one of the weird things with Liger Dancer. Liger Dancer is not good in the mirror. Which is weird. It's so it can buff itself. Yeah, but the thing is, they could have... Card text trumps game mechanics. Everyone knows that, right? You can literally make card text say anything you want to beat game mechanics. They could have worded it in a way to still give it the buff, but not like, you know, be affected in the mirror match. But anyway, that's a spell effect. Oh, I guess that would be the spell effect. Yeah, that doesn't count. So yeah, that's not even a good argument. French for Void and Liam, referencing Capitolium, one of the 7 hills of Rome, and where the Capitoline Triad was worshipped. French, that's all I need to know. Power Patron Shadow Beast Nervedo. Level 10 Dark Illusion Penned, 3-2, scale 1, equals effect once per turn. When a monster effect is activated by your opponent, in response to the activation of your Power Patron or Archmage, resolves, negate that effect and destroy this card. So, hold on. This is a spell speed 5. We're just making up terminology. I know. Judges, if you're watching this stream, judges, leave, okay? I'm really pissing people off now. But this is like the Utopia horse, right? It's mid-chain negates. We're playing Magic the Gathering. We've got the stack. We've got the Ryzio Cross. We've got the Utopia horse. All right, that's kind of terrifying. Konami should make more of that. You know, it's really funny when that stuff exists. Mid-chain fights. I can't wait for that. This card is always treated as an Archmage. You can only use first set effect once per turn. Banish the top 3 of your deck face down and destroy this, and then special Unnerva the Power Patron creation from the extra, and this is treated as a fusion summon. Wait, hold on. Who? Who's Nerva? Is it one of these? No? Okay. Is that an older card? So you just fusion summon that. If this is added to the extra face-up special power patron Archmage from your deck or face-up extra, except itself. This card's name is Minerva Rubido, the raid stage of the alchemical magnum opus. This one is another scale. During the main, destroy this and add 1 power patron or DoomZ in your hand or face-up field and destroy a card in the field. Ooh, that's really good removal. What the hell? And you can trigger the DoomZ effect as well. This is always treated as a DoomZ. You can use it first. So they basically made 1 for each mini archetype, right? Banish the top 2 cards of your deck face down, destroy this, and then special a Jupiter the Power Patron from the extra deck, and it's treated as an Xyz summon, and then attach 1. This is added in your extra deck face up, add a Power Patron to DoomZ. This card's name is Zeus, plus, not saying that, the black stage of the alchemical magnum opus. And then the last one is Power Patron Shadow Spirit Junordo. You can always first effect once per turn. If a Power Patron and or Elven Note is special to your field with this in the pen zone, destroy this, and then draw 2, then discard. Bro Drew. Always treated as an Elven Notes. It's funny that you can kind of play them all together, somewhat, but they have like really powerful effects for their own archetype. You can float the DoomZ guys, get a non-targeting pocket for your opponent, and Elven Notes can get draws. Like, it's pretty good. Banish top 3 of your deck, destroy this if you do special at Junora. This is treated as a Synchro. This is added to your extra deck face, add a Power Patron or Elven Note. So they're all just like Rhodas and work together. Maybe we'll have like a Gas 60 card version of the deck. Didn't Tearlament or Manadium ever try to do that? The closest, like Cash Tier was kind of a thing. Maybe, sort of. Like a heavier Cash Tier engine with Tearlament cards. Manadium Scareclaw was definitely like possible together. But I don't know if you could play like 3 or 4 of those archetypes together. That'd be kind of funny. 60 card Visas lore. Yep. So this is a spell. You can use a second effect once per turn. Send a Power Patron from deck or extra to the grave. Then add a Dark Fairy. Cannot declare attacks to turn except Power Patrons. So, I mean, this is just a Dark Fairy Searcher for any deck if it wants to. If you don't mind giving up attack declarations. Which is not that bad, I guess, depending on the deck. Dark Lord support. Bro, every couple of months, someone will say Dark Lord support. And do you know what Dark Lord ends up doing? Wiping its ass in the toilets after round 3 of YCS, okay? That's what. At the start of the damage, if your Power Patron battles, banish this, banish that opponent's monster face down. That's really good random removal. Secret effect. Someone will miss this. We're gonna get like an Aditya situation on a national stream where he's gonna like attack into like one of these idiots and then the opponent's gonna be, okay, grave effect of spell, and then banish a guy fit. Like, this is great. Like, you know, rotas just have, like, random secret effects. Someone's gonna do that. Just watch. Oh my god, this artwork looks incredible. Wow. This is... That's amazing. You know, I've been getting a little bit sick of the whole, like, cutesy-wootsy wifey cards. This is what I'm talking about, dude. That's crazy. What is the lore behind this, like, thing here? It's reminding me of, like, the Clifford stuff. The Void things, which, I mean, technically this card does have Void in the name. I'm not sure if that's, like, related to that thing. That's a door. It's a door? It's a door. Okay, if you say so. So field spell. Anyway, reveal a power patron in your extra, banish a card from your hand face down, and then add a special monster from your deck that mentions the revealed monster. Monster you put control, lose a 1 for each banish card. Your opponent can activate cards effects in the grave while you control Nerva, Jupiter, and Genora. Why are we putting random floodgate effects on this? Okay, this card's a little bit weak because of the banish. So the search is like making you go essentially -1 really to... I mean, it's not really -1, but you get a search if you... Is it for cost? You reveal for cost, banish, then special. Like, Is the target for this even that good? It's basically small world for the deck. And we all know that small world isn't great. Floodgate isn't relevant, requires having all 3 on the field. Yeah, so, I mean, that's going to be hard to have all 3 of these. I don't think you're really going to do that. But if you do, then, you know. Here's a searchable trap card. Recapture, go activate 1 card per name per turn. When your opponent activates a monster effect, banish a fusion you control until the end phase. Negate, and if you do destroy that, then if you have 3 or more different types, return all spells and traps your opponent controls to the hand. So we have a quick effect again. Ooh, good job. All right, awesome. Searchable, probably. And then we got Elven Notes Regina. Good outfit. Good choice. You can only use first, second, and third effect once per turn. Quick effect. Send 1 other. Read the trap again. Wait, hold up. If you control the Archmage, activate this card the turn it was set. Okay, Malice cards. Malice monster. Okay. Is Kevin coming right now? He probably is, right? I'm sure he is. Elven Notes Regina. Wind Spellcaster. You can use the first, second, and third effect once per turn. Quick effect, send 1 other Elven Note card from your hand or face-up field to the grave and special this. Hand or face-up field, so that's a good extender. It just needs a good on-summon effect. Especially to send to Monster Zone, special Elven Note from your deck. That is... That's bazinga. Isn't this deck, like, actually, like, okay in the OCG right now? I swear I, like, heard something about this. Yeah, there's, like, it's, like... I mean, it's not amazing. But it's, like, got stuff behind it. It's, like, doing okay. And I'm pretty sure if you give it, like, a bunch of these cards, it's gonna be good. Like, that's a little bit terrifying, actually. So it just a fucking E-tail, and if it's sent to the grave as material, it just adds itself back. Okay, broken. Alright, well, anyway, let's stop yapping, and let's start watching. Alright, let's get into some gameplay. Is any of this stuff good here? Alright, so we got Pendulum Treasure, which is a rota for pen stuff. Add a pendulum monster from your deck to the extra face-up. So we stick this guy into the extra deck face-up. Apparently, we can just search this. Activate the effect when it's sent to the extra face-up. It adds the Vidria. Effect of Vidria. Banish Farfa. Face down. It's not just any card, right? Banish on card from your hand face down. Then add to your hand a special monster from your deck mentions that the revealed monster. I guess it doesn't matter what you reveal. Okay, we're revealing Farfa because it's funny. And then we're going to special summon Nervedo. Yeah, he just wanted to banish me face down. Banish 3 cards face down. This can then contact fuse up into the Nerva. This then triggers when it's sent to the extra face up. That's going to special summon Zagredo from the deck now. That's going to banish 3 more cards from the top of it. Self-Kashtira, I love that. We're going to summon out the Jupiter. Then we're going to trigger this guy's extra deck face up. You know, it's grave effects for pendulums, basically. I'm going to search the spell card. Terminus. Terminus is going to dump the Patron to search Medius. Then we're going to normal summon Medius. Medius is going to summon out Junordo, the new Shadow Jutsu Spirit. That's going to banish 3 more. We don't have any cards in deck! Like, there's 16 in deck, by the way. Then that's going to synchro up into Junordo, the power patron of tuning. It's hard to get all 3. Well, apparently not. Holy! Then this guy scales itself and then summons this back. And then this ranks up into Diactorus with this. And then it sends to Pop, I believe, to search for Drastia. And then Drastia effect in the hand. Target this. Pop the baby. Special summon. Equip DoomZ. This guy triggers to search in Equip, which is Angelica's Ring. Equip onto this. End phase. Standby. Opponent's turn. We've got Angelica's Ring negate. We've got the Necro Valley effect of Vidria. We've got this guy, which ranks up into this dude, which negates an effect and equips a monster you control to as an equip. And then it also has like a detach effect, I believe, as well. Bro, this was just Power Patron and any monster does all of this. Wow. That's a little terrifying. Yeah, man, this is fine, but Ash Blossom is too much. Josh in shambles. 1.5 card combo. These are vanillas. Are these actually just nothing? Okay, well, I mean, I guess they're there to fulfill the condition of Vidria. When your opponent activates, when you activate on an Art Mage monster's effect, quick effect, make the activate become the draw cards your opponent controls. Okay, so these are literally just vanillas, except this guy. I mean, that's still kind of crazy. All right, what else we got? We got normal summon Medius. Medius special summon the Power Patron DoomZ. Equip, rank up into Diactorus. DoomZ triggers when it falls off to get Drastia. Rank up into the new Ixie Grafalio. Grafalio is going to search DoomZ Raiders. That's the spell card. Activate Drastia. Send this. Pop the baby. Special summon. Equip DoomZ. Trigger the baby. Special the baby. Let's go. Searches the new Zagredo on the summon of Amalfi. Scale the Amalfi. Activate DoomZ Raider. Send this guy. Special Alara. Trigger both of these on the new chain here. Search the Destruction Trap card. This then searches the DoomZ command Adrestia. Overlay these up into Gallant Granite. Search the Bureau. Okay. Equip Drastia onto the Gallant Granite. Use the equip to send to bring back Amalfi. Trigger the equip to re-equip itself, pay 5, and pass turn here. And then on the opponent's turn, you've got this guy ranking up into the Drastius. The Drastius is the Steel, I believe, or the Suck. Then we have a Monster Negating Suck. Then we have this equipping up onto the itself with Diactorus, and then Diactorus, destroy your card and a monster. This thing then triggers for follow-up, and then we have the Trap card and a Search Nibiru. Oh, it's Colossus as well. Yeah. That's one card. That's one Medius. That's one Medius. Holy. That's kind of crazy. All right, what else we got here? Another Pendulum Treasure. This card is not once per turn? It is once per turn. So Pendulum Treasure, and if we don't... So it's the same as the first combo, except we don't have a monster, we have a spell card instead. So any random spell card plus Pen Treasure. We send the Power Patron that searches the Terminus. Terminus gets Medius, normal summon Medius, and I guess we're going to do the same thing as we did before. Nope, slightly different. We're going to do the actual Power Patron plays here. Special this guy out the deck here. That's going to banish 3 face down from the extra, from the main deck. Contact up into Nerva. Trigger this in the scale effect to bring out the Owl. The Owl summons the Diactorus for the fusion effect. Triggers to search the field spell. Activate the field spell. Field spell, pitch any card. That's going to get Glaflare. Special summon Glaflare. Sets a alteration. Now we're just doing a bunch of Kevin things here. Activate the field spell again to search Laterra. Trigger this thing to recycle the alteration. Activate the field spell. Pitch again. What is this? Once per turn, pitch a card. Search. Alright, we've got Laterra special summon. Recycle back the alteration again. Activate Findom. And I guess this is a random draw. Draw 1 card. Contact Fuse up into Non-Finito. Gets the new trap card, Recapture. When your opponent activates a monster effect, you cannot ban you cannot. Dueling Book Custom Card Makers in Shambles, you cannot. Alright, and then, yeah, blah, 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 blah. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. Okay, so this time we're going to use the Pendulum Treasure for the same start as we did at the beginning for the Vidrium. And then this should bridge into Elven Note somehow. Use the spell card, send that, go for the Medius. Medius summon, there it is. That's the other Owl. The Power Patron Elven Note Owl. That's going to synchro into... Is there no other monster in the game we can synchro into? Okay, we're going to search Elven Note Diana. Ha! Oh my god, it's a Light Fiend. Oh, bitch-ass game, dude. Oh my god. Alright, we're gonna go Caesar. Then we're gonna summon out the Diana after doing some Fiendsmith stuff. She's gonna search a spell card. The spell card trades her out for Lucina. Lucina searches the new card, Regina. Regina sends a card, special summons herself. These then special summons the Jundoro from the main deck. Banish 3, scale yourself now. Tag into the Power Patron of Tuning Junora. Recycles the Big Chungus. This Big Chungus revives the Owl. Sends itself to the extra deck. Then these two synchro up into Elven Note, Seraphim, Stilzizia. Recycle the Regina back to the hand here when it's sent as graveyard material. This brings back the dog. This thing then activates to manipulate the level and then synchros up into Fabled. Alright. So this version of the combo then goes for the Elven Note cards, which gives you 2 Solemn Warnings, a non-targeting perma-mind control, is it? And if you do control that many... Yeah, I think this is a perma-mind control. And then whatever the hell these guys do. During the main phase quick effect, special level 6 or lower Elven Note from your hand to grave. Then decrease levels of all level 4 or higher monsters currently on the field by 3. So you have a random, like, you know, level manipulation, I guess. So good luck overlaying for Detonator. Double Solemn Warning. This guy Steal. And then this thing revives this. And then triggers this to be able to summon on the opponent's turn. This then gets this. And then this equips... that hand loops for 1 apparently, and then we have a bounce 1, and then this guy also has an effect. Quick effect, you can activate this effect. All monsters your opponent controls in the same columns as your Elven Notes can't be used as materials. Okay, and we have D-Barrier for Monster Zone 2 to 4. Branded Andes, you have a new lore deck to shift on over to. Did you miss Visa Starfrost? This is a year of Medius the Pure. So, enjoy. See you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Big shoutouts, of course. Huge, massive shout out to Slenderman. Thank you so much for all of these combos and showcasing of the deck. These might not be perfect or ideal, but it's a very basic overview of what these new cards are capable of. 2026 is the year of power creep. It's going to get crazy. Genesis won't be playing some of these because, you know, they're pendulums. So, that's good. All right. See you in the next one.